Hello, and today with you, Irina Whitner with Whitner CPA. And let's see, we're going to discuss today the information about car expenses and deductions. So we're going to discuss who is eligible to claim car expense deductions and the basic requirements. And we're going to go over two methods, standard mileage and actual expense method. Okay. So the car expense deductions is available to qualifying taxpayers, allowing them to deduct certain costs related to using their car for businesses. But specific criteria must be met. First, you must be self-employed, 1099 contractor or small business owner, obviously. W-2 employees generally don't take these deductions unless you qualify as statutory employee. Second, your car must be used for business purposes, and this is a key, okay? So, and third, you need to keep a proper records like mileage log, receipts, and the percentage of business use. Now let's look at what is not deductible. Okay, commuting from home to work, to office, non-deductible. Fines or penalties or parking tickets, non-deductible. The personal use portion or cost reimbursed by employer, non-deductible. Okay, you need to have a proper documentations and details. And again, I mentioned that we have two methods, mileage rate method and actual expense method. With the standard mileage rate method, your deduction is simply the IRS standard mileage rate adjusted for inflation each year, multiplied by the number of business miles driven. For 2025, the standard rate is 70 cents per mile. With the actual expense method, you will need to calculate first the business use percentage and then apply that percentage to your eligible car expenses. And car expenses can be gas, lease, payment, depreciation, insurance, registration fee, repair, and maintenance. Okay, for more understanding, let's go over a couple of examples. Standard mileage rate method. Here is scenario. You self-employed, you draw 1,000 miles for business. Multiply this 1,000 by 70 cents and you will have $700 deductible. This is simply as it can be, right? Remember one thing, that you need to keep proper evidences and written mileage log. So in this log, you should reflect information as date of the trip, destination, business purpose, and odometer readings for each trip. It should be in writing. Remember that only business mileage counts, not commuting to regular workplace. Okay, so let's take a look at actual expense method. There is scenario. Let's say you're self-employed and use your personal car for business 70%. You had expenses in the year such as gas, repair, maintenance, insurance, lease payment, depreciation, registration fee, and any other car-related expenses. So the total expenses resulted in $9,250. Let's see how computation works. First, determine your business use percentage. You will determine that percentage by dividing the mileage driven for business purposes by total mileage driven for the year. Then multiply this percentage by each expense or total eligible expenses, which is listed in the example, okay? And your total car expenses resulted $9,250. You multiply it by 70%, and you come up with deductible expenses $6,475. So important things to remember: always keep receipts and mileage log to back up both your actual expenses and your business use expenses. And by the way, for the standard rate, you don't need to keep receipts. You need to have only mileage log. Okay, so receipts and mileage log necessary only for actual method if you use actual method. Second important things, please do not switch between methods. So if you started to use actual method, keep using this one, because there's a lot of complications and limitations may apply. Like for example, you cannot claim depreciation if you use standard method. Okay, and eventually where you're going to report car expenses. So you will report on Schedule C Part 2, Line 9, car and truck expenses. Also, you will need to complete details about your car usage, such as total mileage, business miles, business use percentage, name for the car, year of the car, when it placed into the service, and other information. Remember that keeping good records and reporting correctly is the key to maximize your deductions and avoiding IRS issues. Okay, so in conclusion, I want to highlight the services that we provide. Please see our contact information on the screen. And I hope that today's presentation was informative for you. And again, my name is Irina Widner, and I would be happy to assist your business needs if necessary. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.